Hello, Internet, and welcome to Hearts of Stone. We are here to play some Blades in the Dark. We're super excited to have you here with us. We're going to get going here in a second because we're going to have a bit of a shorter stream today because we got some life events and obligations going on. So we're just going to be cutting this down to 3 hours instead of our normal 4. So let's just breeze through introductions and everything. Going on the channel this week, you can join us on Monday for the next episode of our two yet to be titled Blade or Fistful of Darkness campaign. We are playing the Quiet Year, and we had a lovely time last week. Got through the first season, or almost through the first season.
I think Sita
And
really picked up on it.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. So probably at least 2 more sessions of that coming down the pipe, and then we'll be getting into Fistful of Darkness, some more Forge in the Dark system for everybody out there who's been enjoying this. But that's it right now going on the channel. So I will go ahead and turn things over to my lovely players here to introduce themselves, talk about who they are, what they do on and off this channel, and who they are playing tonight, starting with Van.
That's me. Hello, I'm Van. You can find me on the internet at Van But Wilder, wherever you find people on the internet. Mostly I'm just hanging out in the Discord and streaming here a couple of times a week. So today I will be playing Glass, who is the Whisper.
And that's me. Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the internet at Freaksid if you would like. I'm here Mondays and Saturdays. I'm also over on twitch.tv/High Shelf Collective on Tuesdays with RJ, playing a big, weird lady, as Doc would say. It's great. Come check it out. Heart is wild. But today I am playing Salome, who is the group's spider.
Hey everybody, I'm RJ. You can catch me on RJustice282 on all of my socials. What Sid said, Tuesdays, I play Shoebill, who's a junk mage. Stuff happens. Someone from the future's trying to kill me. Mondays, over at the Indoor Adventures, where we do a D&D 4th edition the Wild West game where gold is magic. I'm a Genasi sword mage doing his best. Today, I'm playing Fume, who is the Hull. We both go by he, they. He's a genius, and I'm something. DennyQ.com.
Is it me now?
Yes. It's our secret.
I've always
player.
I've been here the whole time.
You've been here the whole time.
I don't know why you guys. I'm off. Hi everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com or on Mondays at their Indoor Adventures stream, running the Gold Rush campaign, which is 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and it's very fun. Come and join us sometime. Today I am playing as Grackle, who is our vampire. DanaeKeener.com.
I do just have to quickly say that, Danae, we told Sita that until we actually start playing the Monday night game again, he has to say DanaeKeener.com at the end of his intro to prompt Val that it is now time for Val to do their intro. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the trigger
We
phrase.
will never be free of it. It will be a ghost that follows us to our grave.
So every week on Monday, we're also pitching you.
Yeah, it's my activation phrase at this point. Anybody says DanaeKeener.com and I'm like, hello everyone. So yeah. Hi, speaking of which, hi everybody, I'm Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Crown, lurking around the internet. I'm here a few days a week playing and running games, mostly just running them right now. I already talked about the ones that I run, so y'all ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right. Previously on Hearts of Stone, we picked up in downtime with concluding your activities in Crowsfoot and opening up the checkpoint for your usage, having an inside person there in the form of now Captain Hooper. Glass was awoken in the middle of the night with a resulting from a disturbance in the ghost field. You brought Grackle with you as you went to investigate and learned that some sort of presence or another one of these, as you ascertained, engines or fields was being created at the southern tip of White Crown at the lighthouse. There seemed to be drawing in spirits and energies from the ghost field for some sort of purpose. You identified that there were two other points where this was happening across the city. One at the Lord Governor's stronghold, also in White Crown, and the other down in Night Market, a familiar location for all of you, given that you blew up this building before. Hot on the heels of that, as you were returning to deliver the news to the rest of the obedient servants, you also read the news that the Lord Governor Meriden was going to be giving a announcement at the docks today. Some sort of new innovation, new product from the department or the Dustfall Institute of Sparkcraft that the general public was being invited to witness. Fearing for the results of that and what the Baron was up to with the ghost fields, you as a group elected to use this distraction of this event taking place at the docks to raid the DIS facility in Night Market.
Elected is a very nice way of saying panicked.
Yeah.
So
there was a little bit of panic, and y'all made a big swing as a result, and we'll see how that pays off as you prepared yourself in a having very short period of time, only a couple of hours, put together a quick job to raid this facility, potentially disable, blow up something. We haven't really decided exactly what it's going to be, but you are going to sabotage in some way the mechanisms within. You had a rough start to your engagement as you broke in through the upper offices of the facility. Got in a bit of a scuffle with the employees there, managed to frighten and or coerce them to flee the building. And as you descended into the lower manufacturing levels of the factory, following Glass's sense of where this might be coming from, you ran into a few DIS-like guards posted here, who quickly turn on you. You try to convince them you were spear wardens, and in order to convince them that there was some sort of spectral anomaly, Fume freed one of the Dimmer sisters who he had imprisoned within a bullet he had given to Grackle, who promptly possessed one of these three guards, manifesting Evil Dead style in the middle of this room, and everyone wheeled around on the spirit to confront it. And that's where we pick up right now.
And I've been thinking about that shit all week.
Yeah.
I literally had a dream about it. I'm not kidding. Like a couple of days later, I had a dream about the Fume doing that.
So I'm going to change to some more dramatic music. So where we are right now, the four of you in spirit warded masks, disguises, are at the bottom of the stairs in this hallway that runs the length of the building, a couple of administrative offices, but it also connects to the main manufacturing floor, which is the large warehouse with all the equipment and everything they've been using to create holes and to build the components that need to assemble them. Big assembly line conveyor belts. If you've been in there once before, you imagine it's probably the same, though you haven't seen it recently since you blew it up the last time. In front of you, between you and the members of the staff who are currently fleeing out the front of the building, are the three guards who have confronted you. Two of them, their backs to you, their weapons trained on the third guard, who is now has crackling electricity, this pained face kind of frozen in this like mix of like anguish and terror, this like mist pouring off of them as they have been possessed by the spirit of this Dimmer sister, levitating about 3 feet off the ground, and it in this echoing, ethereal voice, screeches out at all of you and says, I will have my revenge for what you did to me and my sisters. What do you do?
Oh, great.
Can Fume look at the guards and just go, "What the fuck did you do to the sisters?"
The guards are like, doesn't really turn around, but like, I'm not sure what they're talking about.
Get
I'm gonna go ahead and roll a fortune roll for these two guards.
If he has a heart attack and dies on the spot.
They are being confronted with the obvious supernatural, and how they're going to react to this situation is what I'm rolling for here. I'm gonna roll one die. Y'all want a high result. Right?
Always.
That's a 3.
Uh-oh.
All right. Guns shaking in their hands. One of them fully drops their weapon on the ground. The two of them be frozen in the spot for a moment, begin to back up, and one of them, like through chattering teeth, looks at them and says, "Sound the alarm. Enable the emergency protocol." And they both begin to flee away from the ghost, like into the facility, presumably to activate the alarms.
I would like to chase them down.
Eat them.
Let her off
eat
the
them,
leash.
Eat them.
Okay, so Grackle is going to break off of this and pursue the fleeing guards. The rest of you, what are you doing?
Fume will just turn to Glass. You have this, right? I'm gonna go try and find some machinations to disassemble.
I'll take care of it.
Fume will peel off from the group.
I think Salome's going to go with Fume, and along the way, trying to get further in, we'll probably also try to find some machinations to do, probably with fleeing people, messing with some guards. We'll see.
And I'm going to follow my nose.
Okay, so Glass is staying here with the possessed guard. Fume and Salome are leaving. Grackle is pursuing the
Grackle's
unpossessed guards.
getting something to eat.
Yeah.
Maybe some Thai.
Some tiger roast.
How did you know my name?
Thai.
All right. So where do I want to start with this? Let's start with Glass, because your thing is the most imminent.
Yep.
Currently, you're facing down a possessed form. What do you do?
I would like to use my compel ability to force a nearby ghost to obey a command I give it, and I want to tell the Dimmer sister to kill him.
You want to tell the Dimmer sister to kill the person that she's possessing?
Maybe. That's kind of
Okay.
what I want to do. I don't know if it's
Okay.
a smart choice.
All right.
But I feel like he's gonna die anyway.
Okay.
And Fume said to handle it.
All right. What
Unless
is
you
your
guys want him
compel-
alive.
You might want to spike him with some crow's veil before you kill him.
I guess we don't really want to.
The
Oh, well, no.
actual fucking.
Again, the
Oh, well, no,
crow's
we
veil
have
is
the
just
thing,
y'all
yeah.
don't get the thing for.
We have that thing.
Yeah, y'all have the ability that doesn't.
Yeah, we had
increase
to
heat
use-
for murder.
We had to use an item before when we didn't have that ability. We just have
Got
it.
it. Okay.
Yeah. So, Glass. How does your compel ability work?
I have to roll a tune, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, you can attune to the ghost field to force a nearby ghost to appear, obey a command you give it. You're not
Okay.
supernaturally terrified by a ghost you summon or compel.
Okay. Let's go. Okay, so roll a tune. I'm gonna call this Desperate.
Okay.
And we'll give it standard effect because you have ghost powers.
I just don't think we should have a possessed guy running around.
That's fair.
Seems like it may be troublesome. 6.
6. Okay. with a 6, the what do you describe? Break me off a piece of like the description. Like what do you do?
Yeah, I think Glass's like eyes go white again, and they're looking past the guard to like the possessor spirit within, and I think very like lifts a hand and like looks through to the dimmer sister and says, "Good Lord, put him out of his misery."
You see the body kind of like twisting and kind of like the spear is fighting your control. However, with your abilities attuning the ghost field, you feel your will subjected over this spirit, and without speaking anyway, her eyes just kind of lock onto you, and then her eyes stay locked onto you as his body does a full 180, but her head stays in place, just cracking the neck completely around. You see like his neck almost just hang on by muscle and sinew at this point, so it lolls to the side. Then the spear just whoosh, releases the body, which collapses like a sack of Legos to the ground.
Oh yes, and I don't think you're going anywhere, and I'm gonna take out my lightning hook.
Okay. As the spirit is ousted from the body, just manifesting in the middle of this room, you see the vague outline of this like of the dimmer sister again, like in that sort of like veiled face, long like wide hat, very witchy appearance. Her eye are now turned on you. We will come back to that in a second. Grackle, you are pursuing these two guards who are running down the hall away from you towards an office at the end where they are going to activate the alarms. What does Grackle do?
I want to hunt them down vampire style.
In your lizard
Which means
fashion?
in my lizard fashion, I intend to eat them.
You're gonna have to spend a load for your lizard fashion.
Oh man. But yeah, I think what this looks like actually is more her getting out her like her twin pistols and getting in close for some gun fu. But I want to try and take them both out if I can.
Okay. So with if you're doing this to feed with your vampire thing, I think it's the roll hunt, correct?
Oh, okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Here's the good news. I now have the tough as nails ability again. So this is no longer at -1 dice. This is to less effect instead. So
Okay.
I will hunt them. I will even push myself first.
Yeah, so this would be at again. I think you are still in a desperate situation. You and Glass are still in a desperate situation of dealing with the ghost and stopping these guys. You have the one shot to stop them before they activate the alarm, which you can't imagine is anything but bad for you. So we're gonna say desperate. It would be limited effect. So that would what I would say is you wouldn't be able to get both of them with limited effect. You'd only be able to focus on one. But if you want to push yourself to increase the standard effect, then I'd allow you to essentially target them as a group.
Yeah, I'm pushing it to standard for sure.
Okay.
Could one of us help Grackle from a distance?
I believe so. Y'all have that ability still, right?
Sure do.
I think Salome is going to do that.
Cool.
Use by taking where is it? You may use teamwork with any cult member regardless of the distance separating you.
Yes. So you can spend a stress to give Grackle an assist.
I love the idea of this assist coming in the form of Salome either giving her like a look or saying something like the moment before Grackle takes off to take these guys out.
Yes.
And you can describe that however you like.
I think so. It's just Jack. Take care of it.
There's like a light in her eyes. Like ever since she's become a vampire, she's been like detached to some degree. And like it's a little bit of like the old like spark. But like there's something like more severe there. All right, yeah. So we're up to standard from pushing. Am I getting an extra dice from that assist?
Or you could push it to greater effect. Either
I want
way,
I want the dice. My hunt's only at 3.
do it.
Let's do it. I'm rolling.
All right.
2 5s.
2 5s. Okay, so mixed success. Here's what I will give you as the choice here, because you're drawing your pistols. I imagine kind of the idea is that you're trying to wound them enough so you can catch up and just like finish them off by feeding on them.
Yes.
Is kind of the idea here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so your decision in this moment is they have a jump on you. You're fast, like you've got actually you don't have the supernaturally enhanced or
I'm
something,
normal.
so, yeah.
I'm normal. Sorry.
So I mean, but you're still fairly fast, but these guys are booking it. They're going on pure adrenaline, fear, making it like you're having a hard time just like catching up with them. You can mortally wound, like you can kill both of them right now. Their backs to you, you've got your guns drawn, easy shots. You won't be able to feed on them if you do that. Or you can kill and feed on one, but the other one's gonna get to the alarm.
I have to feed. It's at this point, it like I came here with the intent to stop them from tripping the alarm, but like I'm reaching a point of desperation where like the hunt is on. I need to feed now.
Yep. And maybe it's like you're not making the logical choice of like alarm is bad. You as soon as you start playing, you like predatory drive like kicks over.
I got the go ahead and like I'm off the leash. I'm eating now.
Yeah. Okay. So you describe to me what you do. So you're able to get one of them. How does that happen?
I think that I'm firing and like I pop off 2 shots like and they were intended to be like very like direct targeted shots to hobble them both. And I managed to like maybe graze one of them and like actually only trip one. And it's a classic situation of like, you know, being faster than your buddy. She's distracted long enough by feeding on one of the guys that the other guy is able to set off the alarm.
Excellent. Okay. So you fire just wildly down the hallway. One of them takes a bullet to the shoulder, kind of staggers forward. The other one takes one to the leg, stumbles down to his feet. The guy who took the shot to the shoulder doesn't even turn back to look at his buddy as he continues running, just full sprint, blood trailing behind him as he clutches his shoulder, rams through this doorway and kind of disappears out of sight. The friend on the ground, whose leg bleeding.
I feel like we never see Grackle feed on screen. It's just her shadow starts to like fall over him, and then like we cut away and he screams.
Yeah, I think it looks back.
Like
we see the camera pan of like it just on his face as he turns back around, eyes full of terror as a dark shadow falls over him, and then a shriek that is abruptly cut short as Grackle takes her prey. So when you feed, I'm trying to pull up.
When you feed, erase all level 1 harm and mark 4 ticks on your healing clock. This is the only way you can heal.
And then it's a vice.
Hunt, pray, and indulge your vice. So I believe I have to actually hit the indulge vice button to reduce the stress.
Yeah.
So let's do that. No bonus. 3. 1, 2, 3. Grackle's still hungry. I'm gonna reduce the list to... No, we'll reduce the first one. Wait, no, I heal both. I heal
both.
Everything.
Yeah, they both go down.
Yeah, okay. So list 1 and list 2 are going down to just 1.
Awesome. All right. And when we cut back to Grackle, we will describe maybe how she's looking right now after having fed. However, over to Fume and Salome, the two of you are heading into like the factory floor area. As you cut around the hall, move away from the ghost, you hear the cracking of bone behind you, though you're not sure exactly what's going on. You are hit by a few like what's the word I'm looking for?
Panicking, stampede.
Yeah, I was going to say a few that are kind of hanging behind or weren't able to make it out as quickly as the others. Workers from the factory floor, they kind of push past you through these swinging doors as you emerge into the factory. You can see these rounded conveyor belts, hooks carrying like these metal plates and machinery or apparatus like hanging over the ceiling. The whole assembly line is still moving. It's kind of still in full swing, just of everything. Continue to move along these belts. Nobody's hit any sort of like overrides or anything to stop it just yet. However, as you make it to this room, from emanating or originating from somewhere else in the facility, suddenly there is a loud like thunk as everything cuts down or cuts off, slows to a stop. Red lights kick on along the perimeter of the room. You hear this klaxon, like alarm sound, and there is a voice, like a robotic sounding, like recorded voice that comes over the speakers. You hear it say, "Emergency override activated. Evacuate facility in next 60 seconds. Emergency override activated. Evacuate building in next 60 seconds."
All right. Either you need to turn that off in the next 45 seconds, or
We need to vacate the premises. I'll try and figure something about shutting it off.
You see so as those alarms are going off, this countdown begins. You're also seeing like around the edges of the rooms, there are these like metal gates that it's like one on each corner. You begin to watch them like they're rising up slowly, as if like opening up into further rooms. There are a couple other passages leading out from here. Like I said, a lot of machinery, a lot going on in here right now. So yeah, what do you do?
Fume is going to be tracing power lines. Override, 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 override.
Okay, so you're gonna look for a way to maybe disable this alarm or this emergency system.
At least stop the gates from raising completely. Because I feel like that's a bad.
yeah.
Mayhaps. So let's do it this way. So I'm trying to think what would be. You're under a big time crunch right now. So first you have to be able to identify like what it is that you need to do in order to potentially deactivate this. So I would probably put that as a
survey.
Yeah, I think a survey is going to be the.
I'm going to give you one of my freebie helps.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to put this as desperate. I'm going to put this desperate limited to start.
Okay, I will push myself to make that a desperate standard and use Salome's dice for my dice pool. Okay.
All right.
Hey, that's a 6.
It's a 6. Okay.
Thank you, Salome.
So,
You're welcome.
You are very quickly surveying this situation here, and you are able to identify a couple of things on a 6. One, as the gates are raising, you begin to see like sparking from the other side, like these flashes of light from the other side, and this glow of like this deep red light that's kind of like emanating a like lower frequency, makes like these sparks and flashes. You get a glimpse of like the bottom of something on the other side, and you see metallic legs on the other side of these gates. So you're fairly confident that what is about to be released from these are some sort of holes. Uh, the alarm system, obviously, like the lights and the sirens going off, and the like, that's not what's controlling these. That's more of to get the people out of the facility should this override be activated. You kind of trace back the wiring and looking for some sort of junction box or like where all this might be coming from. The what I'll give you is this: the central control area seems to be like most of the wires are converging and heading back towards there's like a hallway or like a set of doors on the like far side of this room that seems to be leading back into. So if there is something that is controlling some sort of master like control panel or apparatus in this facility, that's the way you want to go. Getting there and disabling it in the next 45 seconds or so, based on like where your timer at right now, is going to be extremely tight. So that's where you're at.
Well, that's not good.
You have rocket shoes, right?
Yeah.
You can go fast.
They're not rocket shoes, they're springly pistons, but
Okay.
Fume is going to just take a runner stance where he is doing some quick calculations in his head, going, fuck, if it breaks, it breaks. And he's just gonna go for a charge right into the door.
Okay. So you're going to try to follow these lines as quickly as possible to find where they're originating from.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a move or something that you have that allows you to move?
If I push myself, I can use the Devil's Footsteps to perform feats of athletics that verge on the superhuman.
And he is using his feats.
All right. So I think this will be so you'll push yourself to be able to do that, and then it's going to be a prowl because that is climbing, swimming, jumping, running, jumping, that kind of stuff.
Running, jumping, climbing trees.
Yeah.
Putting on makeup,
when you're up there.
Little bits of eye. Sorry. That's a critical.
That's a crit. Okay. You're going to have an opportunity, but this is not the last obstacle. It's going to be in your way. You just describe to me what it looks like when Fume goes just
so is
hits
it
the rocket boost.
Is it the door that like some holes are gonna be coming out?
No. It's just there's some area that's further back behind this room. Like there's a set of doors there. They're not like reinforced or anything, but it seems like that's where everything's leading from. But it's just further into the facility, and you're just moving as fast as possible to get there as soon as possible to figure out where this. Like you're imagining, based on the design here and what you've seen of like this construction, especially since this has all been rebuilt after y'all blew it up and fucked it up the first time, there is probably some sort of central control room further into this facility that they have created as sort of the brain of this.
Fume quickly turns to Salome and says, "This is going to get loud very fast." He is there an instant, gone the next. Fist reared back, punching into the wall. There is the sound of a shotgun blast as the wall like explodes. He charges at the next wall, punches again. There's another shotgun blast. There's another wall. He knees into it. There's another shotgun blast.
All right, so you almost like
Fucking
cut the
Terminator.
difference of like busting through the wall to like not to go at a straight line rather than taking the hallway and the door and everything. So you start just like blasting through the cinder block and the brick, going in a straight line the direction that you see these lines coming from, and it with an explosion and debris and dust and brick, Fume is just gone.
Salome is going to remain in this room.
Okay.
To give Fume some backup. And I'm fully prepared to go out, and I won't go out. I'll be at 9. She is going to prepare to use her glorious visage on these holes.
Okay.
If necessary.
I forgot you had that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if for any reason Fume is not able to pull this off, which I believe he will, I have full faith. But if not, then she's going to stand in the middle of the room where any of them would enter from, and use her glorious visage, which they cannot come any closer to her. They must flee her presence, and they'd also take some damage.
Got it. Okay. Let's the Fume goes tearing off. Grackle is feeding. Let's go ahead and cut back to Glass in this moment. Glass, you are facing down this ghost of the dimmer sister. You can see it as she is in her full spectral form. You draw your lightning hook, and with a shriek, the ghost just goes to descend upon you. What do you do?
I'm gonna try to hook her before she gets to me and put her back in a bottle.
Okay.
'Cause I also have 2 spirit bottles that I always have with me.
All right. Let's
Like
do
fucking animal control out here.
So,
Oh no, you don't.
I'm gonna say this is probably gonna be like 2 things. So first, you're like skirmishing with the ghost in order to
Okay.
like attacking it.
I think I'm okay at that.
And then once you have it like restrained or in hand, then you could use an attune to channel it into the spirit bottle.
Okay. I will push myself to skirmish. I only have 2 in that. I do have 2 in skirmish. Don't know why. No idea.
There was a training montage between you and Grackle one episode. I remember that.
Right.
That's right.
Grackle's definitely like thought about just throwing Glass off the roof, right?
Okay, so skirmish, we're gonna put this at risky
Sure.
standard again because you have a specific weapon that is designed to fight ghosts.
I sure do. And does it make a difference that it's a fine lightning hook instead of a regular one?
I think we talked about this before. I don't know.
I think we talked about it a long time ago.
Being fine, I believe, increases the effect.
Let me see.
You would know 'cause you're
Fine
fine as
items
hell.
are on
I now own a fine shadow cloak and
On
fine
24.
clothes and accoutrements. I even have a fine pair of pistols. Should I have been doing shit with this?
Maybe.
So it says quality represents the effectiveness of tools, weapons, and other resources, usually summarized by tier. Fine items count as +1 bonus in quality, stacking with tier. So
that matter?
it gives an example. Erilyn is picking a lock to a safe house from the circle of flame. Her crew is tier 1. She's fine lockpicks, so it's effectively tier 2. They're tier 3, so she's outclassed in quality, so effectively. So it comes to me when I'm determining like the effect of it. So like the quality of what you're going up against versus your quality. So your group is tier 3. You have fine items. That means when you're fighting ghosts, you're counting as like tier 4. The ghost of the dimmer sister is tier
Probably low tier considering she's a singular sister now.
Let's see, the dimmer sisters were
Singular
tier
sister.
3. So you are effectively 1 quality higher. So here's what I'm gonna actually put this up to great effect because of that.
Sweet. As far as like characters go, I think the Dimmer Sisters are S tier.
Ah.
All right.
All right,
so-
here we go. I'm gonna
risky,
push
great
myself for an extra dice. So I have 3,
Okay.
and hope I don't fuck it up. Come on, baby. This is what you do. This is your job. That's 3 5s. I rolled 3 5s.
That's a lot of 5s.
Okay. It's 5s all the way down, but that's okay. They're not 3s.
Yeah. I like a 5 better than a fail.
You are absolutely correct.
We'll go so with a mixed result. what
That's great
I will,
effect.
yeah. Let's see. So harm question. So yeah, I think we're gonna go with harm here. The what happens is the spirit descends upon you is supernaturally fast. You swing out with your lightning hook, trying to grab this spectral entity. Um, as you do, you're successful in doing that and restraining this spirit. But as you're doing so, she reaches out with one of her hands and grabs onto your arm in response, like grabbing onto you as you're grabbing onto her, and you feel this like draining energy, like you have a life force being pulled out through the contact. So I'm gonna give you a level 2 harm.
I never do this,
Okay.
but I haven't used this move, and I would like to use it. It's warded, and I can expend my special armor to resist a supernatural consequence.
Yes, you
Yo,
can.
And I would like to
Excellent.
use it.
special.
Yeah. So describe to me what that looks like.
I think this is something that Glass has been working on for a long time and hasn't told anybody about. But God, we've been talking about Power Rangers so much lately. But I think as the spirit like reaches out and latches on, like Glass doesn't actually feel it because it's like just above their skin as like shimmering just for a brief moment, like Aloy and Horizon, almost like a digital looking shield, but like in that spirit energy,
Yeah.
sort of like covers them very quickly.
Excellent.
Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said-
So this like the spectral energy, your own like psychic projection, prevents her from being able to make the contact. Her hand just hovering a few inches away from the skin of your arm,
And then explodes.
as you're able to pin her to the ground with your lightning hook. And you want to try to capture her in the bottle?
Yeah, let's get her back in the bottle.
All right, then let's do an attune roll.
Now this I have a lot of. Don't push. Where am I? Desperate.
So no, this is you're
Risky.
in a controlled situation, or you're in a I'm gonna say risky situation because it's more controlled than it was before. So we'll say risky. And again, you're using with your equipment and everything. I guess we'll go great effect.
Okay. Then where am I? How much stress do I have? 3. Nah. I have 4 dice. We'll be alright.
Okay.
Watch me roll all ones. That's 2 6s.
Nice.
Yo, let's
okay.
go.
Eat shit.
Then
Stacy.
with a
What's her name?
critical
Which one is
success,
this?
you never asked.
I'll ask her later.
It was
You are-
Agnes, that bitch.
That bitch.
I will actually give you I'm going to give you an option with a critical success here that
Ooh.
I don't know if you're going to want to take because of the context and the narrative and everything.
Okay.
You are in the process of being able to, of like forcing her into the like channeling her into the spirit bottle. With a critical success, you feel that like the surge of power within you that you could destroy this spirit right now if you wanted to.
Ooh. I think Glass wants her alive. Well,
Okay.
not alive.
Intact.
Intact. Thank you. That's excellent.
Okay.
Intact.
That is fine.
Oh no! A thought just hit me. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I want her. I want her. I want her intact.
Okay. You are able to channel her into the spirit bottle. Just spirit energy collapses and folds down into the bottle itself, which you stop her. She is secure, permanently contained within the bottle.
I put her in my pocket.
All right. You can stick the spirit in your pocket. Where is Glass heading to right now? You hear gunshots going off in the distance like Grackle went. You hear alarms sounding. You hear explosions in the distance of where Fume and Salome just went.
Fume and Salome are together, so I'll go after Grackle.
Okay.
I think is the
Perfect.
instinct.
You rush down the hallway
Oh
towards
right,
Grackle.
I'm Thomas
Grackle.
now.
What does Glass find as they round the corner
Please be Bill
finding you.
Skarsgård. Please be Bill Skarsgård.
Fuck. You did give me all this time to think about it.
Uh-huh.
I think it's okay. It's oddly unsurprising. Like you might imagine, like, you know, somebody who's like withered or pale, or like, you know, like left like a fucking pile of ash. No, it's just a corpse that is like contorted with rigor mortis, and a face frozen in horror.
Oh. Wait, I didn't do that. Did I do that? And then it goes, hello. And then it's like, what? I don't care. Look for Grackle.
Grackle, what did you do after you finished eating?
I went after the other guy.
Went after the other guy.
No
Okay.
witnesses.
No
Got
witnesses.
it. I'm gonna have you do. I honestly don't think you need to do another hunt roll. I'm just gonna let you indulge your vice again with this guy.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
You've successfully cornered him, and you can deal with him once you catch up. So go ahead and indulge your vice again.
Okay.
She's hungry.
I think that glass. Ah. It's just 2.
2.
Look, she's new at this, okay? Like
It's
she's learning.
unsatisfying because like the actual thing that like indulges her vice, the thing that she actually wants is vengeance.
Yeah.
So like this is like a poor substitute. Like
Well, listen, there's another target. Try that one out and see if, you know, that floats your boat. Maybe it didn't hit right the first time.
Maybe that guy just didn't eat very well.
Yeah.
she's really
So his
got
blood
to
wasn't
let
good.
these guys punch her friends first, and then it'll really be satisfying.
Yeah.
Double
but yeah,
sixes overindulge.
when Glass finds her, like I think she's got her back turned to them, and she's like hunched over the second victim, and like is in the middle of standing up from having fed.
Well, hello.
She just turns and like there's like one red eye. She doesn't even turn all the way around. She just looks at you from the side of her face.
I think maybe we should get out of here.
Right. Sorry, I couldn't stop the alarm.
It's alright. Are you alright?
Better than ever.
Oh, I like this. Let's go.
Yeah, there's
Class
just another like frozen corpse at the like leaning up against the wall.
Maybe if you let me
like,
shoot the gun again.
hand kind of raised up. You can see there's a lever on the wall that was pulled that had like a glass case around it that
What?
shattered. Listen, you can't do that every time I say the word glass. It's a very common word.
Trust me, Val. I think about it every time. You'd know if I did it every time.
I don't have any more wounds. My wounds are gone.
Yay!
fully
I am
healed.
fully healed.
Grackle came out of this job better than she went in.
It's true, and it was the plan all along.
I love it. It's so good.
Okay.
Ross
Okay,
is like, oh, she's in a good mood. Maybe she'll let me ride the horse again.
the two of
Maybe
you,
we
I
can shoot
imagine, are
the
going
gun.
to are going to reconvene with Fume, or Fume and Salome. Where...
Yes.
Okay,
Just
so you head
kinda
off the direction they
following-
went.
I assume if it's an explosion, I assume Fume is nearby. So
All right.
we go that
You're
way.
you're heading off in the direction that Fume and Salome went. You hear a voice, the over the speakers saying, "You have 30 seconds to evacuate the premises. 30 seconds." As the alarm's still going off. The gates are about like 2/3 of the way up, Salome, and you can see within. It's not moving yet, but you can see these holes within, everything from like, maybe like shoulders down. Um, they are different from the iron coats. There is more like exposed like gear and clockwork. And you can see at the center of the holes these like pulsing red cores. Each of the holes has 4 arms. Each of the arms with like serrated like blade like fingers. Um,
These are
and
those
again,
fuckers
there's
from
like
Dishonored.
these like
This is scary.
sparks beginning to run through them as they are like charging with power, beginning to be
Do
like
they look
activated.
slightly similar to that death machine that we
Yes.
found?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they look like a improved version of that.
Someone's been busy. I'm just
Uh,
just just waiting, sort of gathering her power here, just in case.
all right. So we are going to, while everybody is about to converge here in the last few seconds, Fume, you race through the hallways, you bust through a wall into this main hallway where you can see like the junction boxes and the lines running down it, super naturally fast, turning the corner. I imagine like running up along the wall, like footfalls leading like divots and like breaking at the brick as you turn the corner. You
Casual Dio Brandoing.
Yeah. uh you reach, you see a like dead end ahead of you, these 2 massive like iron wrought like reinforced doors with this like bracing mechanism across the front, these 2 gears on either side which look like they kind of latch to like move whatever this locking, this like barring mechanism is here. Each of these gears has a large like pronounced like keyhole in it. You imagine like, I think from just your initial assumptions, like this door requires like 2 people to activate at the same time to open it for whatever's beyond. But again, huge, reinforced, very sturdy. You you are there and you have 30 seconds.
I imagine he continues charging, stops on a dime right at the where the door is rearing back a punch, and just says, reconfiguring. And then I'm going to use wreck on the door.
Okay. So you are going to try to just brute force
Destroy
to
it.
destroy it. All right. So where I'm putting this, since we're talking about like quality of items and stuff, is this door quality level is a 6. Very high reinforcement, nigh impregnable. So with your punt, do you have anything that's increasing like the quality or anything like?
I could tag demolition tools out of my toolkit.
Okay, that would definitely help. So what I will say is this door is going to be at its base level, like where you are at compared to it, like, or I guess your demolition tools would bring you up to like quality, like 3. Are they fine demolition tools?
Just regular demolition tools.
Regular demolition tools? Okay. Um,
Pardon
you
me, but they are fine demolition tools because we have the crew upgrade to upgrade the quality of our tools.
Oh.
There you go.
Plus
So
1
I bring up
quality for
to it.
demolition and tinkering tools.
That brings you up to an effective quality 4 against the 6. So it still brings you short of where you're going to be at. So I think most of this is going to be pushing yourself to be able to make this happen. So this starts out at a desperate no effect.
Okay. Push self to bring the effect up to limited.
Okay.
Take my final freebie to bring it up to standard.
Okay.
Okay.
So standard desperate, my rec is 4.
Okay. Let's roll your 4 dice.
That's a 5. And 3 2s, baby.
5. Okay. With a mixed success, how do I want to make this cost you? Okay. I'm going to give you a choice. You can either, so you begin to wail on this door using your whole enhanced strength, and begin to you're punching at it is kind of what I was gathering. It's like
Essentially, yeah.
yeah. You can essentially push yourself to get through this as fast as possible, trying to beat the buzzer of this like 30-second timer you have under great damage to your hull. So you will take a level 3 harm to break this door down. Or you can take the time to do it. You might not get it the next 30 seconds, but you will get through this door eventually.
I'll do it.
Okay. I am thinking you basically just at superhuman speed, just bam, 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 punching this door with these massive concussions until your arm just like breaks off.
I imagine there's like a dent in the door. There's like 15 seconds left in the clock. He lets out a just yell of frustration, backs up the hallway, and then just shoulder checks into the door, just destroying his right arm.
Yeah. Arm just destroys, fall off. The artificial like skin that you have over the hole is like your like chassis is like scraped away. Imagine like full like Terminator style. It's like mostly like you can see the machine underneath of a lot of your most of your hull at this point. Everything like you are limping through this door to get into this room. However, as you push through, countdown going off, 15, 14, 13, 12. You see a room that has these like switchboards with different circuits like connecting each of them. There are junction boxes and panels for all of the wiring that comes through here. Again, this is like the central control room, like brain of this facility that everything feeds through. What do you do?
Ooh boy. Okay. Is there a override disable switch in here?
There is not a switch that conveniently turns off the alarm in this room, but you gather anything that is happening in this facility happens through this room.
Okay. Using I'll spend a stress to send a message out to everyone. I think it's best if you all try and vacate the premises post-haste.
I don't think we're going anywhere, bud. Unless you're planning on absolutely blowing the place.
You need to run, please.
Is that a yes to absolutely blowing the place, or what?
I mean, he will. I will.
I don't. We want to give you time, is the only thing. So if these murder machines start coming out, we need to keep them at bay off of you so that you can stop this.
Can I use a tinker check to plug in my hull control unit that I whipped up a few sessions back?
Okay, you want to do a tinker check to use the
to attach my hull control unit into the system so that I can override the control so that these hulls are under my control.
Got it. Okay. Yes. You want to try to use this to take control of the facility using the whole. Now, the whole control. You're talking about the bullets that you made?
No, I have an actual device that I made that used the broadcast signal the Baron was using to interfere and like submit my own control message.
Got it.
Because remember, we
Okay.
had the thing with like the guy looking in the hat shop, and then he just like, oh god, what happened
Okay,
there?
so you want to try to install that here to maybe not necessarily stop the alarm, but take control at any of the holes that are about to be activated by
About to
this.
hurt my friends, yes.
Got it. Okay. Yes, you can. The yes, you can definitely do that. One of the things that you need to know, though, since you marked the 3, you can't take any actions unless you either push yourself or somebody gives you help.
Okay.
And that doesn't give you the benefit of that. That just lets you do the action, but
Yeah,
it still
yeah.
counts as getting one of those things. Just so y'all are aware.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do a tinker to try to quickly just jam this in here to try to take control of the system.
Okay.
So are
I
you
could help in this one, but I need to reserve to do this
yeah,
move
that's fine.
if for some reason if someone else wants to throw in to help.
I can help.
We can help at any distance.
Sure can.
okay? So
And
just
that'll
so
give
we're
us me a
setting up,
4.
I'm gonna put this at desperate standard.
Okay.
You are doing the you're pushing yourself so you can take this action, and then
Yes.
also getting help from glass to get an additional die or to increase the effect. Which one are you doing?
Oh, I'll take Glass's help to do the action, and I'll not push myself.
And you'll push yourself to get additional die.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Actually, can I? I'll switch that to increase the effect.
Okay,
To
all
grit.
right, got it.
Okay. Okay, it's not 2 6s, but it is 2 5s.
2 5s. Okay. All right. What do I want?
2
How
5s
does
to
this
look
resolve?
like.
What's the consequence of this going to be?
How do I want to hurt you?
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. Just leave me alone. I'll do it myself.
All right. What I'm going to say happens is you rush forward as time's clicking down, like 5 3. You take this whole control apparatus. It's like it meant to like generate a signal that would like impair or disable the holes. You slam it down onto this the switchboard, taking some of the ripping some of the wiring out and just like looping it in the exposed wiring onto your device. I'm going to say that this will stop the effect. This will like halt the countdown, or at least like keep the holes at bay, but it is going to be temporary. So essentially, I'm just going to start a clock for whatever else y'all are doing in this facility for the time being. That will be a risk that they could activate at any time. Does that sound good? You like your device here begins to like spark and like some like flames begin to appear on it. Like it is being overloaded with more electroplasmic energy than it was meant to withstand, and it will burn out after a period of time. But as the timer like that continues to go, it's like 3 2 1, and as the gates fully open, you see these holes just like activating, and then as each one of them takes a step forward, just and they just freeze. And there's just kind of like this like the sound of like gears like trying to move and stuff. And it's like like they're trying to move forward, but they are stuck receiving a counteracting signal, which is keeping them in place.
I didn't even do it yet.
Could there be a sound of like metal footsteps behind Salome as Fume's walking over?
Yeah, you all of you kind of freeze there. Glass and Grackle, the two of you reach this room. You see the same scene. All the conveyor belts, everything stopped, frozen. These holes halfway frozen from emerging from this from these containment pods, and then the metal footfalls from down out of a
Oh, she whirls.
broken doorway. As you see a very badly injured Fume emerging.
It's like a slam of the shoulder against the wall. He's really hurt. Looks up to the hulls that are frozen. I didn't say green light.
I'm guessing we don't have a lot of time.
Minutes at best.
Okay. Where's this presence coming from?
Sorry, once again?
Where's this presence coming from?
I'm
literally the only one that doesn't know. Where is it coming from?
Glass, you're the most in tune with it. You feel it directly beneath you.
It's directly below us.
Fume raises a fist.
Do it.
If you want to break open the floor again, you're gonna have to push yourself to, or somebody's gonna have to help you to do it.
I'm going to actually tag unstable, and it's just like, oh fuck.
Okay, can be. Let's find either stairs, an elevator, whatever.
I need to maintain the signal, so I'll be in the control room for the time being.
One of you stay with Fume.
Presents for us? I'm assuming that when we do a flashback shortly, you will have created some sort of explosive device for us.
I've got this. I'm going
He's
ghost.
walking off, and then you just hear from down the hallway.
Not again.
Okay, so Glass, you're gonna try to sleuth out where like the stairs or something to lead down to get down
No,
to
I'm
the-
gonna become incorporeal and go through the floor.
Oh, yeah, that works too. You
Stairs. Me.
okay.
Need them.
Hilarious. That's so
Uh,
funny.
Actually, yeah, that's okay.
For this. There it is. You may shift partially into the ghost. There, so I have like 5 moves in a row that all start with the word ghost.
Mhm.
My sheet goes Iron Will, Ghost Mind, Ghost Veil, Ghost Voice, Ghost Fighter, and then Infiltrator. You may shift
so how does
partially
this
to the
go?
ghost field, becoming shadowy and insubstantial for a few moments. Take 2 stress, plus 1 for each extra feature. I won't do an extra feature. I'll just push myself to become incorporeal and go down
Okay.
to the floor.
Okay. You shift. All of you watch as glass grows translucent, ghostly, and begins to. You begin to glide down through the floor. Glass.
Wait,
Yeah,
I'm.
like-
Oh, Fume's not in here.
No, if you want.
Before I go, I was gonna mime pressing an elevator button.
Fume could have stayed to watch that.
I would
You
cheer
mind
him, I'd
pressing-
cheer him up because he's hurt.
You mind pressing the elevator button as you begin to send down. Glass, you feel your descent like through the ground suddenly quicken as you feel something almost pulling you
Yep.
down through the ground. You begin to hurtle through the cement and find yourself immediately, like after about probably close to like 10-15 feet of like earth and concrete, you emerge down into a like a second large chamber about the same size as the manufacturing floor above. Inside this room there are these massive like coils that are looped around several pillars, forming kind of like a triangular, a triangular shape. They are like copper in color and sparking with electroplasmic energy that is surging through them. at the center of these three each one is about like 20 feet tall. At the center of these three like turbines or coils is a cylindrical uh, like platform with a panel that is like carved out of the center of it with like this glass or like sheeting, like it's translucent, you can see through the panel. Like this it's not made of metal, it seems to be like some sort of stonework or like concrete mold or form that's been built here. But at the center of it, like it's clearly hollow because you can see light coming from the inside, this like brilliant blue energy emanating from within. The So that's what you get, and then there's these like massive like tubes of like wiring that snake out from it across the floor. However, you don't have a lot of time to look as you feel yourself being drawn straight into the nearest one of these pillars.
Cool.
I see now.
Yeah, that's cool.
This
This is fine.
So
Don't go towards the light.
Well, here's the thing: the ghost form is extremely temporary because I didn't do anything extra
You
with
just
it.
get slammed face first into a pillar.
my question is, you can avoid this by just ending it because you feel your spectral form is incredibly susceptible to whatever this is doing.
Yeah, I was kind of afraid of that, but you know, rather ask forgiveness than permission.
So is what you do is you end your
Yeah, I'll come out of it because it only lasts for like a few moments.
You are going to go crashing down about 30 feet to the ground.
That's all right.
As that happens.
Can I crash like on top of this thing?
You can crash into it, yeah.
I'm gonna crash into it.
Yeah, you suddenly like come out of your form. You're no longer being pulled by anything but gravity and inertia as you are now hurtling through the air.
It was really cool up there, and then once I got down, I was backstage.
Yeah, you start
Tripping over
flying towards
shit.
it. You're going to take harm when you crash into this thing, unless you
okay.
want to. And again, for any of you, I need to remind: if you want to avoid harm, you can roll to resist the harm effects.
I don't have stress left.
So, but yeah, risking taking stress for it. I'm going to give you a level 2 harm from crashing into the side of this thing and feeling a surge of electricity
Oh, not
running
again.
through you as you are electrocuted.
I just got rid of electrocuted last session, Val.
What can I say?
I just got rid of it.
We work in themes here.
Oh, I can't believe you've done this.
As
I
you
could
feel
see
you
your
slam into the side.
shit-eating grin.
You slam into the side of it. You are electrocuted, and you know, like the scene in Jurassic Park, where it's holding onto the fence. You are then flung back away from the pillar and go tumbling across the ground, like hands, like anything that came in contact with the pylon, this coil, like smoking and singed.
Oh, I'm so glad no one saw that. Oh. Is there a door in here?
So, as you are looking around,
I find a way to let everyone else into the room.
yeah, as you're looking around this chamber, most evident to you is to one corner of the room. There's a like a metal, like spiraling staircase that is leading up, like back in the direction you came from. Assuming you ascend that, heading back up. There is like a wheel for like a hatch. You like turn with a heavy and push it up, and all of the three of you still up top see over towards the middle of the factory floor a hidden compartment, like perfectly the seams almost invisible against the stone, lifts up as a hatch opens inside the factory.
I pop out. I look a little rough.
Yeah. There's just smoke trailing off of glass.
I found it. I'm gonna need some help to take this thing down.
Yeah, we'll fix this. Salome yet again. Feeling awful for not being able to do much right now. In front of a crowd, I'm great. I'm awesome. I'm wonderful. Anything else? Ooh.
Come on, anyone can break shit.
All right, let's go break shit.
Forgot to throw a clock up here for the holes activating again.
No, you don't have to.
Go ahead and do
Hey,
that.
you don't have to do
And
Hey,
if you want to tick on it now. All right. The three of you descend down this stairwell into the lower levels of the factory. And we're going to go ahead and take our break here. Since we are about halfway through. So thank you everyone out there. Yeah, went by fast. Goes by fast.
It goes by fast.
We'll be back in a few moments, everyone, to continue our session. Recommend you go do break stuff as well. Drink some water, eat a snack, whatever you need to do, and we will see you back here very soon. Until then, stay tuned. Welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break. We are going to jump back into things. So, current situation is Fume is in the control center for the disc factory in Night Market, trying to keep the hulls offline so that the rest of you can complete your task beneath the factory. Glass took a tumble and got electrocuted again while finding the this strange device beneath the disc facility. Has let you all down, and currently Salome, Grackle, and Glass have entered this chamber. Again, these three these massive copper coils that seem to be sparking with electroplasmic energy, drawing in the ghost field around any sort of spectral anomalies. There is a pillar at the center. It seems to be made from some sort of concrete, but hollow on the inside, where you can see a viewing a sort of like viewing panel that has been carved out of the center with like this glass in front of it, which is letting out this radiant blue light. There are massive like power cables that are feeding off from this device, kind of circling through the room. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything you see right now.
Fortunately, this seems like a both you and Fume situation, Glass.
Fortunately.
Fume's not here right now.
And that's a problem. Right. Let's see if I can figure out how to break this thing without killing all of us.
You want to try to study it to figure out what it is?
Yeah, this is gonna go good.
How's your study?
2.
Okay, do it.
Oh boy.
All right, we'll say controlled standard.
You want help?
I would love help.
Take some help.
Help. Need somebody. Okay. We'll do study. I know how to do this. I can read. I can definitely read. That's a 6. I can read.
Nice. All right.
Good job.
With a 6, a little bit of time you have, not an immediate threat. There's aspects of this that I don't think Glass could understand, just because the nature of like technology and stuff. That's not really your wheelhouse. What you can tell is each of these coils, and you felt this firsthand. These 3 coils seem to be whatever is the source of this pull, of this like draining field that is drawing in spirits and structures of the ghost field into it, almost like they're magnetized to do so. That is not whatever that's drawing in, though, is not being contained within these coils. It is being then transferred into the central column. You sense from within this central column a very concentrated, like, it's not electroplasmic energy in the form that you would know it, that is like that is the result of like burning and utilizing Leviathan blood. This is a much purer form, and almost like it is, whereas most electroplasm is in like a plasmic state, like almost a fluid state. This is more in like a gaseous state, being contained within this pillar. However, this is not just a containment unit, because you can feel something happening to it, like it is being converted somehow, and then that energy is then being transmitted through these cables and out of this building.
Okay. I'll explain that as best I can.
All right, so we both need to stop it from whatever it is converting and also stop it from sending that conversion out to what I assume are those other two facilities to do whatever it is it's doing.
Right. Suppose you just cut the cables.
We all sit there for a moment,
Okay.
contemplating this.
I suppose we can try to just disconnect the cables.
I'm gonna go ahead and add one more tick to the clock too while you're studying it.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Good.
Lovely.
Good. Oh shoot. See, I'm not. This is scary. I'm very scared. Yeah, I want to get a closer look at these cables.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So essentially, what you're looking at here is they're more like pipes, like than like wire, like insulated wire cables.
Gotcha.
Essentially, they're like metal shell around, like forming a tube, that, I mean, you can't see inside of them, but you can feel the energy moving through these.
Okay.
Each one is about like, I would say about 3 feet in diameter.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So big.
Yeah, they're massive. They're almost as tall as you. Like,
Got it.
Is this a disassemble or smash?
I'm slightly worried about consequences of smash.
Disassemble then. Quickly.
We can try. I'm gonna try to find some kind of like control panel or something like that.
Okay. You
Or a lever or a button.
Yeah. Okay. You look around the room. There is, on the side of the cylinder at the center, there is a panel that is like covered. You can open up the door on it, and there is an intricate series of about like 50 different knobs and little dials and like gears and stuff that are all like have these like readings on them and like little numbers like etched in the sides, and they're all like different. Again, like all like this seems to be like very meticulously programmed to accomplish a certain effect. I don't know if Glass, just narratively speaking, I don't know if Glass would have any idea what any of this means.
I don't know. It sounds an awful lot like a Nancy Drew puzzle to me. Is there an off
Oh
switch?
no, it's a slider. Damn it!
Is there
There
an
is not-
emergency shut off?
There is not an on and off switch to the.
There's
to the
not a.
device.
Damn.
What about the big viewing window? Is that separate from the center pillar?
That is on the center pillar. You can
On
like
the
to
center
see
pillar?
into the center pillar. If you look through that, and again, this seems to be some sort of like high, like very thick, like glass sheeting, like transparent. It's very like kind of blurry around the sides, or it's like dirty around the edges where you can't really see through. It almost looks like it's been burned in places, like on the inside. Like whatever energy source is in there is like distorting the glass. So you can only see through like about like a softball size circle in the center. As you look inside, it's very bright, very hard to like make out anything. But if you squint, you can just vaguely make out just like the swirling mass of energy within.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to figure this out. We need to just break wherever it's coming from.
Right.
I tried. I really tried.
Let's look. No, please. This looks complex. The power going out. Is that moving somewhere? Like, is there a place where it is plugged in or moving toward and out?
So the you go around the back of the again of this column at the center. There is one like large pipe that is leading out from it. That pipe is kind of moves around the back of the room and then bifurcates into like 4 different pipes that then feed out to different parts of the wall where they seem to be like embedded into the wall themselves, giving you the idea of these are either feeding into the facility or feeding somewhere else outside of it. You didn't see any of these pipes like upstairs or anywhere else when you guys were moving around the facility. So I think you can intuit enough to say that this thing is drawing in energy, and then it is converting that energy and then feeding that energy somewhere else. And this facility has been built as essentially like a massive generator. And these power outlets, these tubes are leading to other locations, presumably in Duskfall.
This might be our best bet.
Right.
Center whatever we're going to do here, whether that's explosively or explosively is all I've got, I'll be honest.
Right. All right. Let's do it.
Let's be ready to move, or perhaps do it at a distance.
So what are you using to blow this up?
The flashback bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we do a flashback?
Yes,
You
please.
certainly can. I assume Fume might be
Involved
in this.
Yes.
Please build us a bomb.
Fume, can we have a bomb? A
I don't
flashback
know.
bomb.
Sure.
Uh,
Just like a regular boom, like.
we can definitely do a flashback that Fume has made some sort of explosive. Yeah, it really depends on like what the effect of this is going to be. So let
I
me
think
get
we'd wanted
to-
something like that we could have in case we got here and couldn't like turn it off. That would just like blow the shit out of a machine.
Yeah.
All right. So to have a explosive device, so we're going to start with the flashback cost, and then we're going to have to get into actually crafting whatever this is.
Yep.
So to have an explosive device that you had ready in the last few hours, that Fume had created for this purpose, I'm going to put that as a 3 stress flashback.
And we can't split that stress among people, can we?
Let me see.
I can take it.
I'll take it if possible.
I mean, I could also just use my electroplasmic projectors.
If
I
we
have
have
a
to
skill,
frame it-
like blow something up.
If we have to frame it as Grackle's flashback, where she's like, Fume, I reckon we're gonna need a bomb.
What do you want the bomb to do? Do you want it to like glitter and glow, or conflagration and glow?
I reckon it oughta explode.
Explode. I will take that into the specifications while I go and check my stash of bombs. Explode.
Yeah,
You
so
pissed him
typically,
off.
I
You
think
made
yeah,
me
it's gonna
really mad.
it's going to be one person that has to pay the cost for it, because typically we get a bit loose with flashbacks. Typically it's like, I want to do a flashback to something I did beforehand.
Yeah.
We kind of play a little fast and loose with how we do flashbacks.
Well, it's a
So
collaborative game.
I'm fine with saying that somebody pays it as like for the example you gave, Grackle saying, I want a flashback to asking Fume to making me a bomb. You know.
I will happily take the stress. 'Cause
Okay.
I think
so
I'm the only
glass.
one that can.
I can. I'm
Grackle
great.
can too.
Grackle's
Yeah.
got
Grackle's
a
only got
lot
5.
left.
Oh,
Yeah, remember I ate people.
I had
At-
my sheet in front of you. I was mixing
At
up you
the
and
end of
Fume.
this flashback, Fume just tosses Grackle 3 sticks of dynamite that are wrapped together with twine.
It's
Yes.
3 stress, right?
Mhm.
Yes, 3 stress.
I'm taking it.
I had flipped you guys in my
Me.
head.
Okay. All right. So Grackle takes the stress, asks Fume, when did this happen?
Fume, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think in the future you're gonna want to explode something. And if you do, I'm the one that gets to hold the bomb.
Fume turns, his eyes aglow as if he's seen Saint Mary herself. You're telling me I get to blow something up? And the
I'm
only
telling you,
stipulation is you get to hold the bomb? Sure.
I'm telling you that I know you're gonna want to blow something up. And I'm saying I get to choose when it happens. So, give it here. I know you have one.
I know.
I feel like this is pre-vampire.
I know you have one.
I love it.
This has happened immediately after the keeps the rent low
The
conversation
first
on the
time-
roof.
Yeah.
Graggle's already irritated because I'm terrible at
This
shooting
is
guns, and then goes
our
and she's like,
earliest
"Listen, I know you have a
flashback
bomb. Don't
ever."
mess with me."
This is why it's so expensive, is because it's that far back.
Yeah.
Had to really reach back into the mines.
Yeah.
All right. So
A bomb. Yay.
So what I'm going to say, so you spend the stress, Fume is going to create that. We're not going to have to do like the full like inventing a bomb, like it's a bomb. You don't have to invent it. You are going to have to craft it. To build a bomb that will fully destroy this machine. Or like, what is the end? Do you want what kind of result are you looking for? Y'all looking for, you want to build a bomb that will fully destroy this machine, destroy this facility, or just blast a hole in the line that's leading out from the machine? And bear in mind, I will say, like, that will be much easier to like in scale of like things they'll be able to repair and fix quickly, as far as like long-term solutions to permanently disabling this device. Destroying the pipe maybe sets them back a couple of days. Destroying the machine much longer than that. Destroying the building would be even more. But the more destructive you want this be, the higher quality this item is going to be for the difficulty of like crafting it.
Could we just do a fuck it roll and then see how high we can get it? And then just go from there?
Yeah, I mean, if again, but once you make the bomb, if like whatever the result is, then we're sticking with that, and the consequences for destroying things on that scale will be what the, you know, there's no going back from that and saying, actually, I want a smaller bomb now. Okay.
I mean, I think we've pulled like hairer triggers than this.
The thing is like this whole job is slapdash as it is. There's no way we would have had a bomb ready for exactly this situation.
That's fair. Okay.
We have a bomb.
So we're
Yeah.
going to, Fume is going to roll, and y'all will decide how big you want this to be, and then I will tell you after the fact how much that will be able to destroy.
Yep.
Sound fair? Okay.
Sounds about right.
You guys
All
are
right,
very
so-
can be.
I also know exactly how well Fume rolls, so duck and cover, fellas.
All right, so it's going to be initially roll Tinker.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, I can make this funny. Yeah, I'll make this funny. 1 second. Val, Discord, please.
Oh my god.
Okay, that was
He's
the
doing it
result
again.
on your tinker roll.
Tinker.
Okay,
Yes.
so do you want me to give you what tier that is so far in the chat? Like, keep that secret for now.
But keep it secret. I want to be surprised.
Okay, so right now this leaves you with a
Bomb.
that is the tier that is currently equal to.
Okay. Well, folks, shall we?
And again,
strap
you
it
can
in?
spend coin to up that if you want to, or you can leave it where it is. Oh,
By
also,
how
did
many
that include? Wait,
degrees?
actually, don't you have the thing that it
Yes,
makes?
yes.
Okay, all right. So it's one more than that.
Uh-huh. And then is it like a 1-to-1 for coin
It
to level?
is. Yeah, you may spend coin 1-to-1 to increase the final quality level result of your roll. So this will raise the quality by 1 tier for every coin you spend.
How much coin are you asking for?
Okay.
He smiled devilishly. Cool. Love
Okay,
this.
so hold on, let me see. I'm doing my math right. I think that's where it puts us at.
Yeah. So the joke here being is I'm actually paying to make it the weakest bomb I've ever made.
Okay. Sorry, I want to give you context before I do want to give you some context on this too, because I just want to let you know what so as far as like scale and stuff goes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sorry, listeners. This is very amusing for me.
yeah.
Fine if we blow up the whole damn facility. That's fine. We're in endgame already. Like, we're gonna go into hiding after this regardless.
So Glass and Salome are trying to figure out like exactly how we're going to crack this walnut. And Grackle walks up, opens up her trench coat, and there's just like an old-timey bomb inside.
Alarm clock and everything.
Yeah, it's like dynamite, like little like curling wire.
That'll work.
That will work.
Oh, it wouldn't be an alarm clock. It would be a cuckoo clock. And when the
Aw.
little cuckoo extends, it strikes the flint inside of it.
Beautiful. Love it. Amazing.
So, a friend once told me a certain sign in my horoscope is the one thing that is keeping me away from being a psychopath.
Amazing. Load bearing astrology.
Well, when you put it that way.
I just wanted to give you some
Oh,
context. for that.
what if the material... Oh no, that'd probably be a little too much to do right now.
I'm sweating with this. Secret's only friends.
Let's just reduce it down.
Okay.
That might be a bit much.
That I think that would be a little much.
I don't think we would be able to get away from that one.
Keep it on
Yeah.
the stove, it has to reduce.
No, put that shit on the broiler. It needs to burn.
So what do you want the final tier to be?
Yeah, let's just go with
Okay.
which is like reasonable.
Yes. So that'd be 2 coin.
Okay, cool.
Got it. All right. Sorry, I had to keep RJ from destroying.
No,
Festival.
you know, I've taken a step back from my machinations, and that was a fair plug. That's a fair
Yeah.
plug.
All right.
It was going to be tier 11,
Yeah, that's where
That's-
RJ was trying to get to. and
which
I
would
was
have
like-
taken out the district.
That was like that would destroy like all of Night Market. I don't think you could be carrying that around with you.
That would have been funny.
All right. I'm gonna have you spend 2 load to have this on you.
I'm just. I'm
Tickled.
sorry. Me, yeah, I can spend 2 load for sure. For sure.
Okay. You bring out the bomb that Fume made for you. I think it's probably roughly the size of like a large suitcase.
It's an attaché case.
Yeah. And it's making strange noises. So you have a bomb.
I found the source of the mysterious ticking noise. It's a pipe bomb. Yeah.
I think Fume, because they're gonna be getting this thing ready to set off. I'm gonna assume that you've probably given them some instructions as to like how far away from this they need to be when they set it off and how much damage it's gonna do.
Essentially, like, flashback. So you take these 2 key cards and you put them at the same time, twist 90 degrees towards each other, then hit the big red button. Then 30 seconds will appear. In that 30 seconds, you run as fast as you can to clear Night Market.
Not Night Market, not that big. But
No,
yeah.
he says to clear Night Market.
Okay.
But
That's
he
what Fume says. Okay, got it.
specifically, you need to run fast.
Shush,
and clear
God,
the
you're not here.
facility.
Okay.
I ain't gonna remember all that.
All
Got
right,
it.
just thank you, someone.
All right.
So we start setting that up. Maybe halfway between the center of the machine and the pipe, like just to hedge our bets here, so we get
Okay.
everything.
All right. You find a nice place to put it. Grackle gets ready to arm it. Anything before you arm this device and start running?
I'll
Do a cursory glance around here for something juicy. How's that? Can I do a quick survey?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
We should probably tell Fume to run.
Is this
Yes.
risky standard?
Yeah. Risky standard.
That's a 6.
Okay. I'm gonna mark one more on the on the clock here for
Stop
y'all's
that.
time frame. No. But with a 6, you hunt around the room a bit. There's not a lot down here. There are some there are a couple of like cabinets that have like essentially looks like safety equipment in them, like big, like thick, they look like lab coats, but they're made of like a thicker material. There are like large like gloves, like very like thick leather. And for our viewer standpoint, it's the kind of stuff that you would see people who work in like a nuclear power plant using to like handle equipment and do like repairs
my
to machinery.
God.
Not that y'all would really have much context for that. Just looks like very good safety material, like welder's material. So the you look over some of that. The one thing I will say, the only piece of like, I guess dirt, maybe some like information you might find, there is a small like table with a clipboard sitting on it that has a bunch of different like numbers written on it. It's got dates and numbers.
I'm taking that.
Okay. You take that. Anything else?
I'm gonna do the thing, the Bound in Darkness thing. I will take a stress so I can tell Fume, who is far away, that we're arming the bomb.
Okay.
PM responds back, "What bomb?" Oh,
You mean which bomb?
We
Fume
should
gets
not
a
be spending
warning.
our stress to correct each other's grammar.
Yeah, I need everyone who just made a comment there to spend stress.
I take myself out.
No, you don't have to do that. I was just joking. Okay.
He's been warned.
Grackle sets up the bomb. Key cards. You turn inwards or outwards?
Each other.
It was inwards.
Inwards.
It was inward.
And you hit the green, red, or blue button.
Honestly, where do you get off?
I approve.
It's a
How
red
fucking dare
button.
You-
I have ADHD. This is cruel.
This is
Hold on.
mean.
Let me check the manual.
Oh, wouldn't it be funny though? I hit the blue button. Okay, instantly goes off. You all die into the campaign.
I think your definition of funny and my definition of funny are very different now.
I'm sorry for giving you shut up or explode or keep talking or we'll explode.
Yeah.
We should
Oh.
play that.
Yeah, there are a series of symbols. Which symbols do
You know-
you see?
Funnily
that
enough,
game.
Funnily enough, I'm great at that game because
Yeah,
when I lock
see
in,
that.
I lock in.
Yeah.
We should
Same.
do a stream of that.
Yeah.
That'd
Okay.
be very fun.
Turn them inwards. Hit the red button. This I imagine it's actually because
Like the
level
terminal
of technology.
board.
It's the little like flipping like number
Yeah.
like little
Yeah.
dots like 30 seconds it's down to 29, 28,
Oh, yeah.
27.
Very cool.
Everyone out.
Let's go.
And you begin to run as you begin to hear the bomb making this like flomp, 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 different like chemicals mixing in with each other. You all begin to run out of the building. Yes.
I'll expend a load for an unusual weapon and just make it a grenade. But when Fume leaves the control room, he's just gonna chuck that at his device, so it just explodes it.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you something that you would know, and again, doesn't really matter because you're spending the load. You're not really probably gonna need any more load. You know for certain this room won't be here when the bomb goes off.
I want to make sure my tracks are
you just
extra
make sure-
clear.
That's fair. You just double checking. You toss the grenade
Said
behind
it
you.
wrong.
All of you, about 5 seconds, hear an explosion go off, and you all fear the worst. But it's much smaller, and it's coming from upstairs. As Fume rounds a corner, smoke billowing out behind him, comes onto the main factory floor. You all begin to run out of the building.
Time to go.
I'm gonna
Owen.
want everyone to make a prowl roll to see
Ooh,
how
ooh.
far you
Can
Can we do a teamwork?
I
team
can,
action.
yeah, I can do the team thing, and I'll lead it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
Do you have
do
room for
a.
the stress?
I do, yes, because at most I can only take one, even if we all fail. So
Got
Okay.
it.
If Fume is going to contribute to this, Fume will have to push himself to do
I
that.
have tick the box.
Okay.
Okay.
is this Desmond?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe we don't get a second chance on this one.
Yeah. There's
Mark
no
that
second
good
chance.
XP. XP for
Standard.
everyone.
Yep.
Huh.
Ready?
I guess that
Daddy.
does work that way.
Shit.
Spaghetti.
That's right. Roll prowling.
I got a 5.
I got a 6.
I got a 6.
Perfect.
Crit!
Crit.
Oh, we crit. Never mind. It doesn't matter what I do. It does matter, actually. Hold on.
You have a 5. It's fine.
We got a 5.
There's a
I don't take any
lot
stress.
of ones on the board.
I'm
You all
rolling
begin
so many
to-
ones.
You all in your spirit warden masks go running out of this building. As you emerge outside, you can see a group of about 30 or so DIS employees gathered in the proverbial parking lot of this, like outside the building. They all see you running out. They panic a little bit and clear away from you. They don't follow you away from the building, though, as you begin
Oh.
to book it. Are y'all just running?
Fume stops on a dime, turns, pulls out a gun, and fires it into the air.
Here he goes again.
Just to clear out the parking lot.
Yeah.
All right, Fume. I'm gonna need you to roll commands. You're gonna have to push yourself to do this. I don't think you have enough stress to do this, so somebody's gonna have to help you.
I'll help.
Yeah.
I'll help.
On 1 die. That's a 6.
That's a 6. Okay. So somebody mark it a stress
I got
to assist Fume.
Thank you.
As Fume runs outside, fires the gun into the air again. What do you yell at them?
Fucking run, dipshits!
Everyone in the parking lot begins to run after you as you all flee the building. You make it out of the gates. There's panic in the streets. You see some like blue coats off the side beginning to like look in your direction. There's like beginning to be some activity. A few iron coats like on patrol, like coming down the street. No like immediate reaction. Y'all are in Spirit Warden masks, and you got a crowd of people running around you. 30 seconds pass, and you all hear a cracking, like almost like you hear like a splitting of rock and stone and grinding of metal, and then a loud concussive blast. The top of the building, the disc factory, goes exploding outward, and everything explodes out about like 50 yards away from the building, and then back down into it, and then a wave washes over the surrounding district for about like a quarter, like probably close to like 100 yards in every direction. Just whoa, 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 whoa. The people behind you that you see, the employees and people on the street, like it washes over them, no effect. Like they just stand there, kind of like look around, and like something strange happened, but they don't seem to react to it. But you see a couple of others. A few citizens just collapse to the ground. A few of the iron coats collapse. You see a wave of this energy. You're not sure. It doesn't look like an electroplasmic discharge. It's not like sparking in the same way. You're not even sure exactly what it is. But the destruction of this engine has released a force that obliterates any supernatural or inhuman like presence in its vicinity. You watch as this force is approaching you, as you realize the effect it may have on a couple members of your group. But with a 6, it dissipates just as it's about 10 feet away from you as you're sprinting down the street.
You know, I've seen the light once before already, and it did not look anything like that.
There's no light.
Are you sure? Oh, wait, no, that's muzzle fire. I remember now.
Will you two shut up?
None of you are allowed to orphan me. Period. I stand by what I said.
Ma'am.
You all run as fast as you can, ducking into one of your sewer access tunnels and quickly making your retreat back towards the jewelry box.
We are stressed.
As you emerge from your from the tunnels underneath, I'm gonna say, like, because these tunnels don't take you all the way back, it's just, secret routes and entrances and stuff to get through the districts. You make it out of Charter Hall back into Crow's Foot. You're making your way back to Silk Shore. It's about mid-afternoon at this point.
My god, why did I think it's like the middle of the night?
Nope.
Nope. This was a day crime.
Yep.
I never want to do day crimes.
When we get into our territory, Fume will just start whistling around for anybody who's close by. We're gonna put our territories on high alert from here on out.
Mm-hmm.
Big
Yeah.
red
Yeah,
exclamation points all over the map.
Y'all are heading
Yep.
back to towards the jewelry box, though. I
Mhm.
assume.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you signal over a couple of you see some people, members of your crew, on one of the street corners in Crowsfoot. You signal over them, tell them to get the word out that on high alert,
We're at
especially
war.
because there may be some retaliation after that. However, as you as they go running off, you begin to cross the bridge over to Silk Shore. One of the corner of your eye towards the docks, you see a light, like a spotlight, kind of like doof, illuminating over there, like doof, doof, followed by another. You can vaguely hear like the sounds of like, even at this distance, like carrying over the water, because you know that like the presentation and everything that was going on was at the docks, and it's just like you're just close enough that you can vaguely make out the sounds of like cheering and like some reactions over in that vicinity. But you begin to hear another noise that begins to carry over everything. Just this, just like this thumping, this humming noise. The lights begin to kind of like fan out, and you see rising up from the docks what looks like a Leviathan hunting ship, about this size, about maybe 200 yards, towering over as it looms up in the sky. An enormous flying vessel. I'm looking for the description that I have here. Just give me a second here. 200 yards from end to end with these massive searchlights underneath. You can make out like movement along like catwalks along the side of the vessel. You see like crew members of the ship manning like devices, like pulling at these coil guns mounted to the sides, these turbines like engines along the back, like kicking into full gear as it propels it into the sky. This enormous warship, this airship, looms up over the city as you begin to hear like applause and cheering and stuff out from the docks, as it hovers up about 100, 200, 300 feet in the air and just begins to hover around the city.
5-star wanted level.
Oh. I wonder if that's what they were unveiling. And Fume is raising an arm and it's slowly turning into a cannon.
Not now.
As it begins to like hover overhead, like easy, like passing over Crow's Foot, people coming out in the streets and looking up at this vessel, gasping. There's some like shrieks of panic from people that have no idea what's going on. As it comes over Crow's Foot, you can make out along the bottom of the vessel, like along its hull, painted along the side, it says Hyperion.
We're gonna need another bomb.
Big a bomb.
Both.
You return back to the jewelry box. This object hovering in the sky late into the evening, seeing no signs of landing as it continues to patrol. You see spotlights sweeping over the city streets. The members of your crew begin to return, some of them with like kind of freaked out looks on their faces. Emilian returns as well, sees you, Fume, and says, sees all of you and says, oh, did everything go well?
Waves stump arm. You could say that.
I assume you missed the presentation.
We're putting on one of our own.
We saw the finale.
Well, I think that was the most important part, but there's probably some other things you're going to want to know.
You give us a debriefing and we'll give everyone else one.
Right. I think Emilian hands you, Fume, the tiny Fume hole device, and says, so I'm, again, for the technology and everything, I think everyone can hear a recording of
Yeah.
what happened, but I think only Fume, like if you kind of like plug into it,
Can see the,
you can like see it. So I'm gonna describe the sights of it, but everybody else is just getting the audio from this presentation. You see this concourse outside of the docks disc factory. You see hundreds of people gathered there. The lords and high-ranking members of Dustfall Society sitting in the neat rows, like in front of a podium that's up on a stage. Most of the people kind of gather like outside of the security perimeter, these iron coats and blue coats that are keeping kind of like the citizenry from like the upper crust. There's a cheering as Lord Governor Meriden steps to the stage. He is wearing a fully like black suit with this like shoulder cape to the side, with this ruffle of like feathers. Like again, broad-shouldered and towering figure. Wearing this like the bowler hat, same as you saw before. Doesn't no real difference other than his station and his appearance seems to be befitting it. He steps up to the podium. There is a bit of like a feedback from a microphone as these speakers and this like grainy effect goes off, and he speaks out to the crowd and says, "Citizens of Duskball, today is a glorious day. Since the tragedy that befell the previous Lord Governor, I've had one mission for our city: your safety. I've worked alongside the Duskfall Institute of Sparkcraft and your city council and many generous benefactors to bring innovations to the people with this mission in hand. The Ironcoats patrol your streets, untiring, vigilant, and incorruptible. They keep the peace alongside the Bluecoats. Under their watch, crime rates have plummeted, and our streets have never been safer. However, this is not enough. We can do better. I can do better for all of you. To this end, I announce the newest innovation from the brightest minds in our fair city." He reaches down beneath the podium. He holds up a like a cylinder that is capped with like metal on both ends, translucent glass, and seems to be glowing, shining this like brilliant white. Holds it up, a lot gasping throughout the crowd, and he says, "A new process of refining electroplasm that is safer, more efficient, and yields a power source that is 100 times more effective than what we have come to rely on. We call it white fire. A single vial can power an Iron Coat patrol for a month. However, this is only the beginning. With it, we've been able to advance far beyond these technologies. New inventions to keep the people of Duskball safe." At that cue, you see movement to the sides of the stage, and you watch as two Bluecoats walk to the edge of the stage and then walk off of it and seem to just walk on air. You see they're wearing these harnesses that are like sparking and kind of like giving off this faint glow as the bluecoats begin to, you see, almost like walk across the air as if there were steps or some sort of path that's like forming underneath them. These slight reverberations to their footsteps giving off this like pulse with each footfall. With the Spark Runner rig, your bluecoats will be empowered to pursue criminals more efficiently and patrol the streets without ever stepping foot upon them. You see one of them pulls out a device like off the back, seems to be attached to this rig. It's this like baton. As they whip out, you see this long like lash, like a whip of pure like electricity, like lightning, like cracks into the air with a thunderclap. He says, with the lightning thrower, we can defend against spirits and supernatural forces that threaten us all. At that cue, you also watch this behind the stage, like hovering up, again, pulsing, seems to be suspended by some sort of connection, like with the ghost field, like electroplasm. There's like a little bit of electricity coming off and like feeding off the nearby metallic objects. They're orbs that have this panel at the front and these this darkened glass with these like antenna coming off of it. It says, these monitor spheres will observe the streets of Dustfall night and day. With our new developments in the Spectrovox radio technology, all feeds can be monitored and responded to within minutes. And lastly, the crowning jewel of Sparkcraft research. I present, and he like gestures back to him. There's a kathum to the factory behind him as the top of the roof of the factory kind of folds outwards. He says, I present the Hyperion. And you see that same ship that you saw before rising up out of it, just Titanic. The crowd gasps and applauds as soon as it begins to rise up. You see multiple of these like weaponry mounted along the sides, searchlights. From this scale and from this point that you saw that Emilian was at, like, this thing is titanic in size. As it rises out of the hangar and towards the sky, and the thundering sound of the engines begins to fade, he says, all of this for your protection, to make Duskfall not only the jewel of the Empire, but its shining beacon. And erupting applause as he stands and begins to move down towards the crowd to interact with the nobles gathered there. Emilian sort of like cuts off there.
I think during the entire process while this is playing, Fume is plugged in and he's automatically sketching just the select scenes, like this is what is going on in the background. Mm-hmm. In like a notebook, tearing off pages and handing them out. Oof.
Yikes.
Ooh.
I think that throughout this scene, Salome will notice that that fire that was in Grackle's eyes slowly smolders into that cold detachment that she was experiencing before.
What are we going to do about this?
We some people to contact.
Maybe some favors to call in.
Most assuredly.
I'll start whipping up some countermeasures.
I think Salome looks at everyone present. I feel like we probably have most of our crews here. Steiner's somewhere. We're gonna keep him where he's at.
Steiner's still stalking the Baron.
It's working.
Yeah, exactly.
He has become the Baron's personal butler.
Yeah. But I think kind of looks at everyone assembled and clears your throat. This is not what any of you signed up for. I know this. So, I will say right now that if any of you wishes to dissolve our business relationships, I completely understand. Our personal ones will not be altered one jot. Kind of looks around at everybody.
And just who exactly do you think you're speaking to?
Slowly.
We are friends.
Oh.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Fume was slowly lowering a suitcase behind the bar and then taking a hat off as well.
This is going to be on business. This has become a war. Not just upon us, but upon all of the citizenry of this city. And if our dear Lord Governor has any say about that, probably across the lands. This is not what any of you signed up for. But it's the cards we've been dealt. So again, if you wish to fold, I will send you off with my very best.
And where would we go?
I would assume, like anyone with a modicum of foresight, coin within this city, as far fucking away as possible.
So what, everyone leaves, flees for Tykeros or somewhere else, and just waits for the Baron to come there?
Honestly, could not blame them.
They won't.
It's their decision. However, I would ask that they make it now, because that is not what I intend to do.
Well, lads, what do we think? Shall we abandon our home to Lord Governor Meriden?
Grab sitting at the bar with some of like their cohort, like shoots down the rest of his whiskey, slams the glass down and says, "Fuck no. Where I see it, this was my city before it was the Baron's."
What about the rest of you? Shall we give up everything we've worked so hard to gain?
What am I gonna do with this second bomb then?
Shall we leave our families? And our family at the coffers, our family at the bathhouse, strewn all over this city? Shall we leave them to their fates?
Just like murmuring around the bar, just like fuck knows.
Or shall we take this fight straight to them?
Think there's a some like a little bit of a pause, and one of the members of your crew like stands up and holds up their glass and says, "We fight." Another one over in the corner says, "Yeah." Another one off to the side begins to pick up, and they be on the whole stand up, and they all like in agreement, cheering and drunkenly proclaiming that like people yelling about
Fuck
like
the Baron.
fuck the Baron.
Could there just be like a tankard slam rhythmically over and over again and just starts echoing out from the middle?
Fuck the Baron.
Yeah. Just a boom, boom.
Hella raises her arms. I had to ask.
No, you didn't.
So, things are going to have to change around here. I am very pleased to announce that we have, for a second time, blown up a disc building.
Was it a different one or the same one as before?
Same one.
Same
Oh.
one, actually, with quite a greater effect.
You gonna blow it up a third time?
If we have to.
Gods, I hope we don't get to that point.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to stop all of this before they rebuild it.
I hear
Time-
comedy comes in threes. You should blow it up again.
Now, I know I taught you that. Don't think it applies to this situation, Reggie.
I'm not Reggie.
I'm Reggie.
That's Reggie.
That's very clearly not. You're very clearly Reggie.
He's not here right now.
Reggie, if you want to leave, you can go. You specifically.
Unfortunately, I have the distinct feeling that we are going to need to go underground, both figuratively and literally, where possible. Anyone that does not know our underground measures like the back of their hand, I suggest you study up with someone who does. They plan to watch us. They plan to gather as much information about us as they can and then destroy us all. Well, fuck that. I draw breath. I'm not going to let that happen. So, for now, we're going to continue to help each other draw breath. We plan. It's been quite a day, so just everyone rest up.
Well, if they're going to be watching us, I say we give them a show.
I have a suggestion for our first outing. We should go shopping for some new gear.
Not a bad idea. We convene tomorrow.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Salutes with stump arm.
Yeah, we're going to have to do something about that.
Yes. Well, no, I'm ambidextrous, so it really doesn't affect me any.
You only having one arm affects all of us.
Fine.
All right.
Let's get cleaned up.
As Salome parts from the group, who is in various stages of planning and celebrating, carousing, I'm sure, she'll walk into her office and feel a familiar pair of eyes burning at her back from her normal corner.
Out with it.
What about you?
What about me?
You gave everyone else a chance to walk away. You've already done everything I've ever asked of you. You've given me enough chances. Things have escalated farther than I ever asked for. You've been dealt a shitty hand, Salome. If you want to
And it's
fold, I won't hold it against you.
The thing about a shitty hand is that it becomes an excellent opportunity to bluff. And I'm fair. Don't be good at bluff.
Grackle's expression is unreadable. She stands and like brushes past Salome, like just barely any contact. I gave you your chance. I'm tired. I think I'm gonna sleep now.
Jack,
She stops at the door.
get some rest. I think it's pretty easy to see she was going to say something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Held it back.
You say that, and when you look up again, she's gone.
Salome sits down at her desk, just kind of silently crying a little.
All right. As everyone recovers, cleans up, retires to their respective chambers, Grackle.
I'm going to bed. I put on my pajamas. I'm climbing in my coffin.
As you climb into your coffin and your jammies, closing the lid above you. Find yourself
Grackle's
in-
jammies 100% have rocking horses on them. It's
Yeah.
canon.
You, in the darkness, as you begin to drift off into your sleep meditative state, you just hear like a whisper in your ear. Don't forget our deal.
Yeah, zero expression change. She just reaches up and grabs her arm and closes her eyes.
All right. I think that's where we'll conclude it for tonight. Oh boy, y'all. So yeah, new technology on the streets. I decided this was a great time to bring in the Blades Deep Cuts additions to our campaign.
Oh, yeah.
So, very excited about all that. So let's go ahead because we got to wrap this up here. And do our end of session stuff. Where's it?
I mean, we could just come back to it.
Huh?
I said we could just come back to it, like, during the week, because people have to do
Yeah,
it.
I at least want to do XP and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And we can do stars and wishes later on if we want. Where is Jesus? I lost the end of session questions. There we go.
They're on all our playbooks, so
I found them. All right, desperate actions. We had a lot of those today, so hopefully you all marked your desperate action XP. Playbook specific XP triggers. Mark those as you see fit. Beliefs, drives, heritage of background. Same thing. And then if you struggle with issues from your vice or used one of your traumas, get XP for that. I would count Grackle. I don't know if you marked the XP for the vice thing, but considering you had to let the alarm go off in order to indulge your vice, I would count that as a issue that came
Oh,
up.
thank
You're
you.
welcome. All right, and then crew advancement.
execute a successful burglary, espionage, robbery, or sabotage.
Sabotage, I believe.
We did it.
No, we did a
Fits.
wholesale demolition. It wasn't a sabotage.
Contend with challenges above your current station.
We blew up a disc building.
Yep.
Yep.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
We are loyal and we are
I
brutal.
think that came out today.
Yeah, I think brutal definitely came out. There was a lot of collateral damage from that explosion.
Yeah.
The Baron just looking at the damage report. I thought retaliation would have been proportional, but holy shit, man.
No, dude.
My name's Cletus. I ate 2 people.
Yep. They're gonna have to escalate, I guess.
Oh boy.
Now we'll get him first.
It's
oh,
the cycle of violence. It just keeps on
We
escalating.
send one of us to the hospital. We send one of yours to
to
the
the
morgue.
morgue. Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew.
Always.
We're close to leveling up again.
Nice.
Ye.
But of course.
All right. That will be it then, y'all. Yeah,
we
we'll
have,
go.
we
do a
made
quote real
up
quick?
for quotes from last
Did y'all do
time.
quote?
'cause-
Let me give out a
oh,
quote.
we
at
did
least.
so many quotes.
I'll bring up the quote stock. And,
At the end, I was basically just dictating. And then what?
Oh god, I scrolled down too far to the parceling shit. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Wait, there's parceling stuff on here?
Huh?
In the pinned messages.
Oh.
Uh,
I was like, are we using the same doc?
No. It's a
It's
different
real
book.
funny.
Do we still have that doc? I would love to go back and look at it.
I think it's pinned in there still.
It's probably
Alright.
on there
I
somewhere.
hope so.
That'd be a good time.
If anything, I should have it.
You'd be able to find it in your Google
Mhm.
history, wherever.
Oh man, this is
We were
tough.
really cool today.
Y'all
And
We
were
were
so
so cool
cool.
today.
And we were really good at writing it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like last
Uh,
week.
We were stressed last week.
yeah.
Can I nominate one?
Yeah, go and nominate one because I'm.
This has gone beyond business. This has become a war.
Yeah, that's
That
a
is a
good
really
one.
good one.
to
It
Always
nominate.
feels
seemed
like
more
it sums
profitable.
up like the heavy stuff of this entire episode.
Yeah, I'm down for that. We'll go for that one.
And it's just kind of
Level up.
emblematic of that entire scene. Though, and I know we're not getting into stars and wishes, but I'm gonna hang an accolade on Glass coming in and prompting a call and response from the crowd. That's good
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah.
Gotta go a little feral on Salome's behalf.
Yeah. You need a
that's good.
hype man when you're playing the humble card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having an audience plant definitely helps.
Oh, guys, we said some really good shit
Absolute.
during Ward 47.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
y'all
did.
Excellent.
My
Okay.
leg.
We will we'll go ahead and call it there. And yeah, I'll have y'all do your stars and wishes in the chat. So we should be back next Saturday to continue. So join us for that next week, and join us on Monday for the next installment of our Quiet Year game as we're preparing to play Fistful of Darkness Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. But yeah, I want to thank my lovely players for making this game a joy to run as always, and thank everyone out there for watching. We will see you in 1 week, and until next time, good game and good night, Internet.